Is it going? Is it going? We are live. Welcome everybody. Wow, I just feel like Farmer when I did that. But welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a video exclusively about the cues because that's what I've been training the past few weeks, and I've done a few kind of dabbling in it, and then somebody, I don't even remember the name, was like, you should do a video on it. And I'd love to. Um, so just to kind of give an overview about my trading journey so far quickly, been trading since September. It's now January. And December I was kind of bad. I was busy. I was gone in Disneyland and meeting with a bunch of people, and then I was up north for Christmas time. So it's just kind of been blah, 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 and I really kind of I've had so much time this past week, and I've really committed myself back to trading. Um and kind of I'm reevaluating like the reality of it, kind of because I'm going through my midlife crisis. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, but I want to be financially stable. So kind of recommitted myself. And well, to be fair also though, Monday it was closed, and then Tuesday, Wednesday I didn't wake up, Thursday I did, and today I did. So trading farmer, you are here. But anyways, I just want to jump right into it. So, been training since September, done the cues for the past, I'd say, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. Um, and I don't know, it's tough. Yesterday I traded other stocks besides the cues, which is what strategy I'm trying to do. Is I don't want to just exclusively do the cues, at least during this learning phase, because cues act so differently than the ones that I would normally do if I did my scalping strategy. So I tried doing, I don't know, HKD yesterday was insane though. So that also felt like it wasn't normal. I don't know. Yesterday was like the first time I traded real stocks. Besides one over winter break, that was also crazy, and I don't remember what it was. But it didn't go well. And it was kind of a shock to the system, and I was like, oh wow, this is very different than what I've been doing for the past few weeks. So I'm kind of weighing the costs and benefits and costs of the farming trader and the trading farmer. Just luck. Okay. I love when people say that, because I'm like, okay, if we think it's just luck, then why aren't you doing it too? Trying to stay on topic here today because I wanted this to actually be a quality video. Oh, also, farmer, did you like my, what is it called? I did the same thing last time. My thumbnail that I made, I thought it was kind of cool. Kind of cute. But enough yapping. Well, I guess it's not really yapping. What was I even talking about? I just lose my train of thought so much. Yeah, it's been a wake-up call of what real stocks are like. It's kind of been hoo hoo ha ha. This is kind of crazy. Not used to this. Like, such quick action on the feet because of the cues. I have my different strategy now, which I will get into. So I don't know. I will let you guys know kind of what I plan to do with the cues in the future. I don't really know at this point. I think it's my favorite thing that I get to do so far, just because it's so reliable. I can trade it every single day. And I wake up and I know that I can trade that, versus like there's always that scramble in the morning, and I just always feel, which I think I need to get better at that though. I don't want to just not push myself in that area with the stocks that I like, the penny stocks and stuff. I don't want to just be done with that because it's more difficult. But the cues they're just like a little guilty pleasure. They're just like eating chocolate to me. It's like having a bad day, gonna trade the cues. So that's been really easy for the past few weeks. It makes it easier. But the cons, here's the cons now. Higher commissions. I still haven't worked out how much it is. I don't really know. I was looking it up, and here you see it. I couldn't really figure it out. So I'm not really sure. But yeah, higher commissions. I feel like you have less of a cap for like crazy big wins like you do on just like those days, like, when farmer makes like 10 grand. Like, I just don't know if that's as feasible with the cues. I don't know though. Like, that's kind of why I'm making this video, is there's not really that many traders out there talking about trading TQQ short term. I mean, a lot of people are describing QQQ and all the TQs, SQs, and all that. They describe what they are, but they don't show how they're trading it. So I don't really know, too much about like the cap size of how much this could realistically work out to be. And I don't know the commissions, but I'm not really gonna worry about the commissions. I don't think that's as like crazy. And also, my goal has always been that I just want to do it for like extra money. Like, I have a career that I like am set on. Well, I'm figuring it out, so I actually am not set on. I don't really know, but I still, think this is supplemental income, so I'm not really so crazy on I need a $10,000 winter day, or I want to have these crazy numbers. Doesn't really matter as much to me. It's just like consistency, and that's ultimately, at the end of the day, what I'd say is the best part of the Qs is they are consistent. SQ going down, trade TQ. TQ going down, trade SQ. Like, and you guys should have seen me at the beginning. I think I have a live stream of me doing it when I was trading SQ and TQ back when I was like trying to scalp the Qs, and it was chaos. It was absolute chaos. There's no way that I could possibly, it sounded so easy in my head. And then when I was trying to apply that principle to my strategy, it didn't work. And now that I've kind of adjusted my strategy, it does work a lot easier to do it, and it's very feasible. So yeah, those are the pluses and minuses. Very reliable and consistent, maybe less cap for huge winners, and you also could have like really big down days because they're leveraged, which I'm gonna hop into next what they are, or at least what I've gleaned about what they are. Disclaimer, everybody, I'm not a financial guru. I know next to zero. I'm literally a communications major, and I don't know anything about the stock market. Like, economics was my worst subject. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me still, and I read things and I process things very slowly with it. So you can leave me all the hate comments you want if this is wrong. I don't care. It's actually helpful to know what I'm getting wrong. But TQQ and SQQ, they're leveraged ETFs. So they are like a conglomeration of a bunch of different not financial, but usually technology ones or whatever, reflective of the NASDAQ 100, an indexed fund, which has a bunch of stocks, blah, blah, blah. It's basically tradable, like, yeah. Does that make sense? I think that's basically what it is. Correct, Mingo? I pulled up, I love Investopedia. I wish I could be sponsored by them someday. I feel like they have the best, clearest explanations. But yeah, basically they always say the same thing, okay? It's a leveraged ETF. If it goes down 1% on QQQ, TQQ is going to go down 3%. And if it goes up 1% on Q, then goes up 3% on TQQ. That also explains why the commissions are higher. Yeah, technology excludes most financial stocks. I just now today was watching a YouTube video and found out that there's other ETFs that I could possibly trade. I think one of them was Gush. Is it a ETF? I think it is Gush ETF. Isn't that oil? Yeah. So I'm kind of interested, you guys, if you know anything about other ETFs. I have not really heard about other ones. I don't know what else was in the video. I saved it on my phone so I can go back to it. But anyways, this is helpful. Yeah, QQQ, long-term investments, not gonna do that. Honestly though, I don't know. I also read something that overall there's a long-term decay. Is it on TQ or SQ? Wait, now I'm getting so confused. There was something about how there was a decay, so it wouldn't really make sense for long-term investment. Then if there's a decay in that, then you should trade the other one. I don't know which one the decay was in. Okay, yeah, broad exposure to NASDAQ, blah, 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 blah. It's best, so TQ is better for short holding positions, best suited for day traders in the house. I don't know how to do this thing. I thought this was funny. Where did it say this? Haha, cons. Highly volatile. That's what makes it so good. That's also why it makes it so risky. And actively traded, yes, so we usually always have good volume. Today was interesting. I'm going to pop in to talk about today a little bit later, but in the beginning, the volume was low. I was interested and I didn't really know why. Losses amplified by 3 times. Yes. That's the thing, like, I don't really know why they even bother saying these cons, because earlier they said it's better for day traders, so then these things are actually, like, better. And then SQ, which I have more recently started trading. I started out only doing TQ, and I didn't even know about SQ until, like, I don't know, maybe a month ago. Because I've known about TQ for a while, but I didn't know. Oh yeah. So SQ is just the inverse of TQ. I try blue word to say. Triple the opposite results of the NASDAQ 100. So, same thing, 3 times leveraged, and you kind of get the same, like, it can be risky. It's usually, okay, and this is the part that I don't understand. Let me know if any of you guys know, but I don't know why SQ is more money. Maybe I should look that up. It's always, why is SQ more money than TQQ? Because that doesn't necessarily make sense to me. Oh, okay. Wait, what? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask my brother. I don't think he knows either. 9 views! Let's go. 0 concurrence. Rough, but that's okay. Okay. What was I going on about? So yeah, that was just an overview of TQ and SQ, what they are. So like the thing says, I also just learned what liquidity is, how easy it is to be converted to cash. So when it comes to market, how easy it is to, I think liquidity has to do with spreadage, right? Having big spreads. How easy you can, like, I need to write that down for my questions. Like market liquidity. What's, like, how easy it is to, I could not explain it to a toddler. My new rule for trading is sometimes I can roughly understand something. I'm like, I understand that. But then I think, how would I explain this to someone? Well, I don't know it well enough to explain it. If I can't explain it to a toddler, then I need to further research it. This is my trading journal. My first thing of notes. Most of this I already knew. I'm finally getting to that part in trading where I understand things, and it's starting to build on top of everything else that I've learned. Like, I know what a stock split is and a reverse split. Actually, funny story too, I was sitting on the plane with this old dude who was kind of telling me how, like, rich he was, and I was like, good on you, bruv. But he, like, threw in there reverse split, and I was like, I actually know what that means. And we could actually have, like, a good conversation, and I felt really proud. So shout out to actually my brother for making me watch videos, and well, this is on my own volition this time, but I just feel like I'm finally getting to the point where, like, I understand patterns, I understand bull and bear market. I really did not understand that till literally December. I was like, oh, okay, and like, my biggest question now has been recently the whole and half dollar. Like, I need to talk that out with my brother. Anyways, figure that out off camera, but it still confuses me because I'm like, it should be a warning sign if we can't push through that whole dollar. So then, but sometimes they're like, buy at, $9.95. I'm like, ooh, but what if it doesn't go up? And I'm done. Anyways, I had my script written out and I've diverged. So, I talked about the pros and cons of TQ and SQ and trading them as day trader. I've talked about what they are, which everybody I feel like knows what they are anyways. And now I'm going to talk about my tips and tricks. First of all, I learned a lot of these from people in the comments of my brother's videos, actually. So shout out. I don't actually remember who suggested these. But number 1, when NASDAQ is down, I do SQ. When it's up, I trade TQ. And not necessarily super strictly, but I just have a habit of, waking up and just looking at it and seeing, okay, what is like the overall NASDAQ doing, because that's what's reflective of. So I woke up today, NASDAQ was down, so I was like, okay, SQ. This was like right when the stock market opened. Yeah, so that's one thing as I look at NASDAQ. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but that's the number one thing for, not number one thing. Two, this is bad, and I don't come after me. This is actually bad. I don't really recommend, and my brother's getting me on it. But what I do is I usually buy and I hold for about 8 minutes. I don't really know why, but I always choose that number, 8 or 9 minutes, and then I come back and reconsider, because it's just kind of too hard for me to sit there and look at it for 8 minutes. Now, if I had real money in there, I think that would be different, but that's just what I do. And yeah, I don't highly advise it. But I have found that it's way better to hold for longer periods of time than what I was doing. Like, scalping TQ and SQ is just like really dumb. And I wish somebody had told me that earlier on, to be honest. Someone in the comments that said, patience is key. You really got to hold on to these. And then I was like, oh, I can't just be buying and selling within seconds, because I was so used to that with momentum trading and doing penny stocks and doing lower float and cheaper stocks. And so it's just so different coming to TQ and SQ, and I wasn't adjusting my strategy. So yeah, I have that one video of me going back from SQ and TQ and just being so desperate, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm never trading SQ again. But I just kind of figured out I need to hold it for longer periods of time. So yeah, 8 minutes is my number that I do, and I don't have justification for that. I wish I did, but I kind of just make that up, and that's the number that I choose. And I try not to go back between TQ and SQ that much. I kind of like to just commit to one, but I've also learned to be a little bit more flexible now. Like today, let's take for today, for example, I saw that SQ, I was going to trade SQ, but I knew that I was going to take a little bit more time until I could trade it, because TQ was going up at that moment. And so I started out trading TQ, and I had the timer set for I don't know, probably my 8 minutes, or maybe less actually. I think I maybe said I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes, because it's okay, I'm not going to long-term hold TQ this time, because I know that eventually it's going to go to SQ. So, and I got an inkling, I was like, oh man, I think I should go look at it, because it hadn't been that long. And I could have sold at 140. I didn't, and it flashed down to $90, and I was like, okay, selling. And quickly straight went over to SQ and bought and held for probably 8 minutes. And I'll show this on the thing. But that today kind of taught me, you know what, it's not a bad idea to trade both. I just have to understand that I can't just hold it for 8 minutes all the time. That's dumb. Because sometimes I can only hold it for 3 minutes. But the thing about TQ and SQ is I feel like you can't ever really go wrong with buying in. If you think that's going in the direction of TQ, okay, you can buy in. If you think if it's not, then you can buy in an SQ, because it's an inverse, right? So that's kind of what I like, is I can always trade it. There's usually never a time. I mean, but it is nicer when it's a clearer indication of this is going to keep going up for 5 candles, versus it's kind of that middling choppiness, which is not as good for long-term holds. So I like when there's clear, this is going to keep adding up. Farmer, are you there? Hello? Also, other people suggested, looking at longer time frames is really, really important. I mainly look at the 5 minute right now. I still like the 1 minute, but I think today I only had the 5 minutes set up. So let me just go to my window. Can this be done? Oh, here, hold on. Okay, so this is my setup every day usually, and it's pretty nice. It's nice to have literally so many windows open. But today Okay, so I bought in, well, I know I sold here. I sold here and I felt like, ooh, I don't know. Do we think it's going to eclipse this? But I didn't really think it would. And I was feeling kind of antsy and nervous. Yeah, hold on. Zooming in is still the hardest part in this gosh darn thing. Okay. Is this at what time is this? Yes. So I bought TQ here, sold it, and came to SQ and got these 2 moves up. So what is that? I think that's what I did. Does that even check out with the numbers? I don't really know. That also can't really figure out. Yeah, is this 35 then? Yep. So that's what I did, and I just cut this move up. Sold, which was like literally the luckiest thing ever because hoo-ha, 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 it did this, and it went down $7. So, yeah. I guess that's my other tip. Having the 5-minute chart is huge. I don't ever look at QQQ really. I don't mess with it. I don't think it's really that helpful. I also don't really think VWAP matters quite as much for TQ and SQ. I'm kind of making that up, but I just don't really pay attention to it as much. I don't think it's as dependent on VWAP. Does that, I don't know if that's true. I need my brother to verify that, but I usually just kind of look at the pattern and I don't really pay attention to it. I don't think, and also I don't think it's quite, well, yeah, it didn't get to 58. That was my big question too, was like, are we going to get there? And I didn't know because look, like these looked fantastic. So I felt kind of like FOMO when I sold there, but I'm glad I did. I don't really know why I did. I think I was just happy with the number, frankly. But as you can see, like, pre-market, it wasn't that crazy. I guess it's always like not that crazy. I don't know why I thought. It was actually better. Never mind. I also like looking at just an overview of the day. And it kind of helps. Like, okay, here is an overall red day. We start really strong and we ended strong, which doesn't really matter to me because I don't swing trade and I don't trade past literally 8 a.m. Also, is anybody watching? Hey, 13 views. But yeah, that's what I did. Because I wish they made this easier to click on. Gosh, diddly darn. Here, right? Yeah. So I bought there, sold. Oh, I only made 80. I thought I made 90. You know what? We're gonna say I made 90 because I thought I got 90. Whatever. And I could have had 140, and then it went by so fast. So, that was kind of terrifying. Also, I trade with 500 shares. I think for the long term, it's a lot more worth it for me to do that and dump a bunch of shares. And I used to be really into scaling out. Like, that was an era. That was a phase for me, like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago when I figured out how I could do that. I haven't been doing that as much. I don't think it's as worth it with long term as it is in the short term because I have all these feelings of like, oh, I don't think blah blah blah, and I don't necessarily know how to justify it of why I think that, but I just feel like I don't know. I guess you can't keep scaling in and out, but I think because I'm trading it long term and I have that mindset versus trading it like with 30 seconds, I just don't think it's as necessary to scale out. Like, I can just bail out and be done. And especially because I feel like the patterns are so clear that if I see the bad pattern forming, I don't really want to waste my time like scaling out slowly or anything. Because like this morning, it literally went down 80 bucks, like 60 to 80 bucks, like so fast. And messing around with this, like seconds are crucial, and it just would have been a mess. Also, I wanted to show kind of my feel for TQ and SQ and how I like the patterns that I see. Is I keep telling this to my brother and he's like not impressed. Not impressed, but just like okay. But it's literally all the same thing. It's literally always like rainbows. Let's zoom out even more. I say rainbow, I don't know how else. But like that's why I have such confidence in the stock because boom. Okay, now we have that, a little dip, rainbow, 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 keeps going up. Like that, I love to see this. I love to see these. Kind of this W action too. Oh my gosh, phenomenal. This one was actually the one to trade to, wait, what? Was this today? Hold on. Yeah. What? Is this 5 minutes? Yeah. Color me all sorts of confused. Okay, no. I see. Wow, I'm learning new things as we wait, what? Okay, that's fascinating. So like this one was really the one to trade today. But also, not really. Like the other one, the price is so high. I used to trade this when I was like 26 bucks. So it's been falling and SQ has then been going up. But yeah, I just have such confidence in this. Like, okay, yes, this is frightening. And questions abound at how do we know when it's going to stop falling and going up? Like, how do we know when to go in and out? That part I'm not so sure about, but I feel like I have a good enough grasp at least knowing when to bail out when it's super risky. I just don't know when to bail out, but then I miss out on really good profits, is what I'm kind of trying to say. But yeah, I feel like usually in the morning when you trade, like it's pretty good patterns. And just like, I love the action. And I feel like it's relatively, I mean, we just do like the same crap. I mean, you get a red one, I maybe wait one, and then I dip. Like, I just think, yeah, I don't know. I usually don't wait through too many of the red ones on this one because I think they can be pretty bad indications. And like if you're here and like la-di-da-di-do, well, that's not even be applicable. But gosh darn it, I don't know how to delete stuff. But I feel like any red is kind of like, I would dip. And then of course, if this is starting to go green, I don't know, I'd probably buy it back in. But I'm up here, okay, I'll dip, and that's fine. I don't think it's really worth it on the Qs to stay in when it's red, is basically what I'm saying. It's not really worth it. Because then you can hop into the other one. If that one starts going, okay, go back, which I don't really do that too much, but that's my other pro tip. Okay, this video is getting long and I want to be done. Well, I could talk all day, but it's getting long. 17 views! Hey. Last thing I wanted to show. How long I've been trading? Okay, 20 minutes. Is my Google Sheet. Well, no, it's not a sheet. My Google Doc that I have created, and it's my little trading diary. So, first off is my calendar, and I actually want this to be way smaller. Okay. Well, now it's being whatever. Dwayne D has subscribed. Thank you, Dwayne D, for subscribing. But this is just what I literally made yesterday, and as you can see, this is my total for the week. Kind of inflated, I don't really know, because, should I tell you guys this? I think I told this on my story the other day, but I didn't know the market was closed on Monday, and I bought SQ, and I was like, okay, whatever, I don't even know. Opened up the thing on Tuesday, I made 1,200 bucks on it, so it was a fluke, but I'm gonna take it. Wednesday, I can't remember what I traded. I don't remember, and I wish I did so I could reflect on it. Thursday, yesterday, when I traded, and this number denotes how many shares I traded. Yeah, so I made the same amount on SQ, strangely enough, like exactly the same. And I should make a sheet though, that might be smarter. But I think this will be helpful just to like look at the overall thing. I don't have Trader View set up. I don't know, as you can see, I was trying to figure it out and I need my brother's help. But yeah, I need some type of visual. So we're doing that. And then this, I'm gonna do weekly chunks, kind of describing it and kind of giving like, okay. Waking up at 7 or something, that's so specific. Good, bad, did not set a max loss on the stock, then lost 100 in it with 100 shares. Did I really? Oh, this was Thursday. Okay. Use smaller shares when trading something I don't know. Amen. When I first get in, I should be trading with 50 shares. No revenge trading, like revenge dating. It's just no. Don't use bigger share sizes to get out of the hole. Still don't know if I stand firm in that one, but it's so hard for me because I'm like, ugh. But I really have to stop it. Let me highlight this because I'm actually so upset that I haven't learned this lesson yet. Okay. Look at 5 minute. I always forget that. Be patient. It can come back around. And I want to commit to trading for 40 minutes. I usually only trade for literally 20, and it's just not long enough for some of those stocks because it takes longer for them to rebound and come back up, and I missed that. Question, what causes big spreads? Okay, I guess that's not the only answer. I don't know. I keep getting conflicting responses. What causes slippage? Usually having like really high share size and your orders doesn't get filled at that one. And that means also like a cheaper stock or a less volume stock or a less small float. I don't know. And then I'm going to do the same thing for today, just talking about what I did. So, wrapping it up today, guys. Sorry this was a long one, but I'm really excited with the Qs. I feel like I finally have found a strategy that I have hope in. Jimmy Buffett. Okay, we all know who Jimmy Buffett is. You need to set a stop. About that, I did watch a video where they said don't actually do that because you don't know if it's gonna curl back. But I guess with the Qs, like I do actually think that, well, I don't know. Oh, yes, Wednesday I set a stop for the first time. I didn't know how to do that previously. So I set a stop and came back and okay, I was down $100. So, but then it curled back up and that's where I get like, about setting like a hard stop versus a mental one. I don't know. I need to figure out the details about how I'm going to do this because I don't really think it's feasible when I have real money to just walk flat out away and be like, bye. Because I can't just leave my real money alone like that. I could be down thousands within seconds. So, yeah, Jimmy, we're going to work on that. I don't frankly know what I'm going to do, but I think I don't really want to do that because there are lots of times where it can come back up after, you know, you suffer a really bad loss. Ugh, I don't know. But again, TQ, I do feel like it's very much trend. So if it's one red candle, and also if it's one red candle, it could go back to green, but those are usually times when it's just like, and you're not going to get the, and if you do, you can get in the next one after, you know, you've seen some signs, and usually there's at least like 2 or 3 more candles after that, if that makes sense, where it'd be straight green. So it's worth it to get out, is what I'm saying. You don't need to hold through. DM, sis, what up? Sis is happy. I'm excited for the next week of trading. I also want to think about doing swing trading, because I think that has potential. So I just kind of want to experiment with that. But thank you guys for joining and learning about my Q journey. I've finally gotten somewhere, and I'm so excited. Like, it's like, I'm so excited. I've loved the Qs since day one. It was actually not since day one. It took a little bit, but then like 30 days and I was like, oh, I really like this. I love how easy it is for me to just be like, okay, train the Qs, done. Don't need to figure out where I'm gonna go next and like look at 5 people's live streams to see what they're trading and be like, ugh. It's like, no. So call it a fluke if you will. That's what the trading farmer and all his hate has been like, oh, it's not real. Well, I don't know. I've had 1 week of success, and last week I made 400 on TQ one day and lost 100 on another day, which is like, but still, that's 300 in profit, and I'm pretty sure I had another day where I made like $100. So I say I'm putting together something a little bit decent, and with that, peacing out.